Hey everybody, it's me, LegoTrip11L, and welcome to this Hunger Games minifigure video showcase Madu Hacker. I wanted to make these for the release of Mockingjay Part 2, but I actually first thought about making these after I saw the movie, so that was probably a little dumb. It took way longer to make these than I thought it would when I started, because the torsos were actually much more difficult than I initially had thought. And I think they took like a day, just each of them, to make the decals, and that's much longer than it usually takes to make custom minifigures. And then I also had to order some parts that had to arrive, and it all just took a long time. But here they are, and I really think they turned out great in the final result, and I hope you like them as well. So let's get started with the first one. The first version here is from the 74th Hunger Games, and it was actually a really complicated minifigure to do, because sometimes it's actually very difficult to implement something from real life onto a minifigure, but I think I managed it pretty well in this case, and the final result, I'm really satisfied with it, so I hope you like it as well. So the first thing you probably see is the bow. This is actually a Brickforge bow, and if you don't know what Brickforge is, it's a third-party manufacturer which makes accessories for LEGO minifigures, and they have some pretty amazing stuff out there, including these bows. I thought I would use them instead of a normal LEGO bow, because I don't really like the mold already molded in Arrow, so this one doesn't have that. And of course you could get it in other colors than just brown, and that was exactly what I needed. And if we just look at the torso right here, you can just see it's just a gray shirt and just a jacket on top of it. And just small details here and there, including the Mockingjay pin up top there. You can probably maybe be a little difficult to see because it's actually very small. But it is there because I thought it was so iconic that I just couldn't leave it out. If we take a look at the legs right here, you can see there's just a little bit of printing, just because I didn't want them to leave them all blank. I took this design from the Death Star Trooper from a Star Wars set, and it just works really well for just pants with not much detail going on, just without making them completely blank. Then, if we turn to the back here, you can see she has a backpack, which she also has in the movie, so I thought I would implement that. It's actually the backpack from the Skydiver in Collectible Minifigures Series 10, and then I just put on a quiver on top of it with some epoxy sculpt, and just painted it all black. And I really think it turned out really great, and I'll probably make a little more of some stuff like this, even though I'm not really that good at it. I think it turned out really well. Here you can just see it a little bit better without the hair. Then if we take a look at the actual back printing, there's not much going on, but you can see there's just a little hood and some small details here and there with the belt continuation on the back here, and just a little knife. So yeah, that was the first minifigure. Let's move on to the next one. So the second minifigure here is from Catching Fire, and Catching Fire is definitely my favorite of the movies. And the outfit is actually not really that complicated. You can just see that there's just a pattern right there on her chest, and just some stripes that continues down to the legs, and just some knee buckles on the legs there. Then again, I gave her a Brickforge bow, this time in a gunmetal color, and it looks pretty good. Other than that, it's exactly the same as the last one. Then you can see I added some small black parts to the arms right there. I didn't really want to do that in the first place, but then I thought I had to make the backpack anyway, so why not just paint these as well? And it looks pretty cool if you ask me. It really adds a little something special to the figure. Then you can also see I gave her a sword, because in Catching Fire she's a lot more violent, she knows how to kill, and she's a lot angry with the Capitol, so I thought it will add a little more violent effect to her if I gave her a sword. Then if we take a look at the back, you can see there's not really anything going on. She has a black quiver, and that's pretty much it. If we take off the quiver, you can see there's actually also not really much back printing, it's just the same pattern as on the front. So yeah, that was Katniss in the outfit she wears in the Quarter Quill. Now let's move on to the Mockingjay. And last but not least, we have Katniss as the Mockingjay in her Mockingjay outfit. I really like the Mockingjay outfit, but it was a little challenging to do because it's all black, and I don't really like making all black figures, because that sometimes doesn't really work that well. And this time, I mean, it's okay, but it could have been better, definitely. Some of it also probably has something to do with my printer. Doesn't really want to cooperate when I printed out these figures, and it goes for like all of them, but it's more noticeable on this one because it is only black. But yeah, as you can see, she has this bulletproof plated armor on her chest, and other than that, there's not much going on. Then I also added a little Mockingjay pin up there. It might be a little difficult to see, but it's there. Then you can also see I added these shoulder pads just to give it a little more military armored look, and I think it turned out really great in the final result. Again, we have a brick forged bow, this time in black. Other than that, there's actually nothing different from the others, but it still looks really awesome. Then I also just added some small pockets down there to the side of the legs, just so they weren't all plain. If we move on to the back, you can see again she has a black quiver. If we take off the quiver, you can just see the back printing, and it's not really anything special. It looks very similar to the front, but it's just some armored plates and stuff. So yeah, that was the third and final figure, Katniss in her Mockingjay outfit. I really like it. I hope you do so as well. So that concludes my minifigure showcase for the Hunger Games, and I really enjoy these figures. I hope you do as well. They took a long time, as I said, but they were really worth it. This will probably be my last video in 2015. If it is, then have a Merry Christmas, everybody, and a Happy New Year. Other than that, just if you want to, go check out my Flickr account, where I post a lot of photos, Photoshop stuff, and mocks, and all of that sort of stuff. Then also, if you want to, go check out my Instagram, where I also post a lot of updates on minifigures and just all such random things, some GoPro stuff here and there. It's interesting, so go check that out. Other than that, I don't really have anything to say, so again, Merry Christmas everybody, and I'll see you guys in 2016. Goodbye.